What if you discovered that the difference between thriving at 90 and struggling at 80 isn't luck, but 5 invisible choices you make every day? After decades of research, scientists found that seniors who age vibrantly share hidden habits most people overlook. These aren't about diet or exercise. They're subtle, daily decisions that either protect your vitality or silently steal it. Take Margaret, an 88-year-old from London who still volunteers at her local library, while her neighbor John, just 79, feels decades older. What separated them? Today, you'll learn the 5 unexpected factors that decide who enjoys their 80s and who barely survives them. Even better, you can start fixing them today. No doctors or pills required. Ready for the first life-changing factor? Let's begin. Factor number 1, the vanishing chats. Why losing small talk is shrinking your brain. After 80, something dangerous happens without warning. Your world shrinks in a way doctors rarely discuss. It's the vanishing art of small talk, those fleeting connections with cashiers, neighbors, and strangers that quietly disappear from your life. What most don't realize is these micro moments of connection aren't just pleasantries. They're scientifically proven brain fertilizer that may determine whether you thrive or decline. A groundbreaking 2023 University of Michigan study revealed something astonishing about seniors who maintain casual daily interactions. Those who kept saying lovely weather to mail carriers or chatting with grocery clerks showed 27% slower memory decline and 40% lower depression rates compared to their more isolated peers. Even more remarkable, their blood work showed stronger immune responses, as if these tiny social exchanges were giving their bodies vital signals to stay engaged with life. The tragic mistake many make is assuming only deep relationships matter, the weekly family dinners or lifelong friendships. But neurologists have discovered it's actually the low-stakes, daily chatter that keeps your brain's social wiring alive and functional. These micro-interactions force quick mental calculations. Did the barista say rain or train? Trigger microdoses of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and most importantly, reinforce your fundamental sense of belonging in the world. Consider Arthur's story. This 82-year-old retired postman from Manchester used to know every neighbor on his route. After losing his wife, he stopped his daily walks to the corner shop. Too tired for small talk, he'd say, but what seemed like simple fatigue masked something more serious. Within 8 months, clinical tests showed his vocabulary had shrunk 15%. He began consistently mishearing his grandchildren, and his blood work revealed elevated inflammation markers, all linked to what researchers now call social malnutrition. The solution is simpler than you might imagine. You don't need an active social calendar or weekly bridge games, just intentional micro-connections. Try what we call the 10-second rule. Say one complete thought to someone daily, whether it's complimenting a stranger's hat or asking the pharmacy clerk about their day. Become a familiar face at one local spot, a cafe, park bench, or library corner, where brief exchanges can blossom into recognition. And if leaving home is difficult, even replying to social media comments with more than just an emoji can provide that crucial cognitive engagement. What makes this so powerful? Your brain doesn't discriminate between profound conversations and casual chatter. It craves any engagement. Like muscles that atrophy without movement, your social cognition weakens without these daily stretches. Arthur's turnaround proves it. When he started simply asking about the pharmacy clerk's cat for 20 seconds twice a week, his vocabulary scores improved within months, and those dangerous inflammation levels dropped. All from what most would dismiss as meaningless chit-chat. Do these small interactions make a difference in your routine? Comment number 1 if you'll greet someone new today. And if you're finding these tips helpful, a like helps this content reach more people. Factor number 2, the safety paradox. How being too careful is shrinking your muscles. That cozy recliner and all those helpful safety rails might be doing more harm than good. Here's what doctors aren't telling you. When we eliminate every physical challenge after 80, our bodies take it as permission to start shutting down. Take Dorothy's story. After a minor fall in her garden at 83, Her well-meaning family turned her home into what she called a safety fortress. Grab bars everywhere, a mechanical lift chair, someone always holding her arm during walks. Within 6 months, the shocking truth emerged. She needed help standing up from chairs she'd risen from effortlessly for years. Her geriatrician explained the cruel irony. Your precautions created the very weakness they were meant to prevent. Here's why. Our bodies operate on a simple rule after 70. What isn't used gets discarded. While some muscle loss is natural, overprotection doubles the speed of decline. Your joints lose their precise positioning sense when not challenged. Even the neural wiring for balance begins disconnecting without regular use. Dorothy's turnaround began with small but strategic challenges. She swapped her lift chair for a firm sofa that required using her legs. During TV commercials, she'd practice controlled squats using the chair arms for support. She even created safe challenges by placing pillows along her hallway path to navigate around. The results amazed everyone. Within 3 months, Dorothy was back gardening using just a simple kneeling stool. I discovered there's a crucial middle ground between reckless and bubble-wrapped, she says. Now she follows what physical therapists call the 3-challenge rule each day. First, she makes sure to rise from her chair at least once each hour without using the armrests, feeling those leg muscles engage. Walking down her hallway, she'll take 3 purposeful steps without touching the wall, maintaining her balance just a little longer each time. And she replaced one safety item, the grab bar by her bed, with a sturdy nightstand that requires more control to use for support. University research confirms Dorothy's experience. Seniors who maintain these managed challenges preserve 30% more muscle mass than their ultra-cautious peers. The secret lies in finding that sweet spot where movements feel effortful but not painful, where your body gets the clear message it's still needed. The painful truth about aging is that what feels safest often accelerates decline. But as Dorothy proves, our bodies remain capable of remarkable comebacks when we give them the chance. Safety shouldn't mean surrender, she says with a determined smile. My walker stands ready if needed, but these legs of mine always get first refusal. Factor number 3, the light deception, how your nighttime habits are aging your brain. The gentle glow of your tablet screen in the evening feels harmless, doesn't it? And that little night light in the hallway. Surely it can't be causing any real trouble. Yet mounting evidence suggests these modern comforts are quietly working against your brain's best interests. As we age, our relationship with light becomes more complex and more crucial than most realize. Researchers at Stanford made a sobering discovery when studying seniors' light exposure patterns. Those who regularly spent evenings with electronic devices showed measurable shrinkage in memory centers of the brain. Even more concerning, participants who slept with ambient lighting developed Alzheimer's-related proteins at accelerated rates. The implications are clear. Our artificial light environment may be aging us faster than time itself. This revelation hit home for Martin, an 84-year-old retired history professor in Portland. His nightly routine of watching documentary podcasts on his tablet, combined with multiple night lights throughout his apartment, had unwittingly created what sleep specialists term circadian disruption. Tests showed his melatonin production had plummeted to just 42% of normal levels for his age group. The solution emerged through gradual, thoughtful changes. Martin replaced his evening screen time with vintage radio dramas playing through a speaker system. He invested in proper blackout curtains and swapped his bright white night lights for subtle red bulbs that don't interfere with sleep hormones. Most importantly, he began taking his morning coffee by the living room window, allowing natural light to properly calibrate his internal clock. The transformation surprised even his doctors. Within 2 months, Martin reported sleeping more soundly through the night. His weekly bridge partners noticed his improved concentration during games. Perhaps most remarkably, the chronic back pain that had plagued him for years diminished significantly, an unexpected benefit of reduced inflammation from better sleep quality. Making these adjustments doesn't require drastic measures. Simple changes like installing blue light filtering apps on devices or using timers to ensure night lights turn off after midnight can make a substantial difference. Many find success by choosing warm, dimmable bulbs for evening reading and consciously positioning favorite chairs near windows to maximize daytime light exposure. Martin's experience offers an important lesson. I thought I was being modern and independent with my technology, he reflects. Turns out I needed to be more intentional about something as basic as light. His story reminds us that in our later years, we must become architects of our environment, carefully designing our light exposure to support rather than undermine our health. Have you tried adjusting your nighttime lighting? Share your experience in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Next week, we'll explore foods that boost brain power after 70. Factor number 4, the grief accumulation. How unprocessed loss wears down the body. Behind the composed smiles and automatic, "I'm doing fine" responses, many seniors carry an emotional burden that modern medicine is only beginning to measure properly. What often gets dismissed as inevitable, aging frequently stems from sorrow that has seeped into muscles, organs, and neural pathways. Emerging research reveals a troubling pattern. Grief that isn't consciously processed doesn't vanish. It takes up residence in the body's most vulnerable systems. Groundbreaking work by Dr. Eleanor Pratt at Edinburgh University followed 200 older adults over a decade, revealing startling connections between emotional processing and physical health. Participants who had endured significant losses but avoided confronting their grief showed accelerated cellular aging markers, weaker immune responses to routine vaccinations, and higher rates of stress-related conditions, including irregular heart rhythms and persistent inflammation. This pattern manifested clearly in Margaret's experience. The 86-year-old retired nurse from Liverpool had buried her husband of 62 years, followed by both her brothers and closest friend within a 5-year span. True to her generation's stoic values, she kept busy with volunteer work and rarely spoke of her cumulative losses. But her body became a ledger of unexpressed sorrow, developing stubborn hypertension that resisted medication, digestive troubles no specialist could explain, and eventually a severe case of shingles that lingered for months. Her turnaround began when a perceptive gerontologist recognized the connection between her physical symptoms and emotional history. Rather than recommending traditional talk therapy, he suggested Margaret join a reminiscence circle at her local community center. There, surrounded by peers who understood loss without needing explanations, she found herself gradually sharing stories about her late husband's terrible cooking and her brother's lifelong passion for birdwatching. She also adopted a practice from Japanese culture, writing annual letters to her departed loved ones, updating them on family news and personal reflections. The physical changes emerged gradually but unmistakably. After about 4 months, Margaret's blood pressure readings began stabilizing without medication adjustments. Her persistent shingles finally cleared completely. Most remarkably, she found herself sleeping through the night for the first time in years, waking feeling genuinely rested. Neurologists explain this transformation through what's termed the load theory of aging. Each significant loss, we avoid processing acts like weights added to an invisible backpack. Margaret's body had been laboring under this accumulated emotional weight for years until she found ways to methodically set it down. Modern geriatric psychiatry emphasizes that grief work requires different approaches after 80. Some find healing through legacy projects like organizing family photo albums with handwritten notes for future generations. Others discover comfort in simple rituals, lighting a special candle on meaningful dates or visiting places filled with positive memories. Margaret's journey illuminates a profound truth about later life resilience. The body keeps score when the mind can't bear to. Her experience demonstrates that even in our 9th decade, making peace with loss can reverse physical damage we assumed was permanent. As she now advises others in her reminiscence group, tears aren't your enemy. They're your body's way of lightening the load you've carried for too long. Factor number 5, the purpose gap. Why losing your why accelerates aging. The cruelest paradox of aging reveals itself not in medical charts, but in the quiet moments of mornings when there's nowhere to be. While modern medicine chases biomarkers of decline, groundbreaking research from Harvard's Aging Brain Center uncovered a more fundamental truth. Seniors who maintain a clear sense of purpose exhibit brain structures and functions resembling those 10 to 15 years younger. The body, it seems, responds to why we wake as much as how we live. This revelation crystallized during a longitudinal study of Robert, a 79-year-old former aerospace engineer from San Diego. After retiring from his consulting work, he looked forward to what he called permanent Saturdays, until he found himself lingering in bed until noon, skipping his daily walks along the marina and abandoning the model shipbuilding that once filled his evenings with satisfaction. His doctors grew concerned when routine scans showed an 8% reduction in his hippocampus volume over just 18 months, accompanied by unexplained muscle loss and elevated inflammatory markers that no medication seemed to touch. The turning point came unexpectedly when a neighbor's 13-year-old grandson appeared at his door with a broken model rocket. As Robert explained the principles of aerodynamic stability to his eager young visitor, something remarkable happened. Follow-up scans revealed increased blood flow to the very brain regions that had been shrinking. This single interaction sparked what neurologists term purpose reactivation, leading Robert to establish a weekly STEM mentorship program at his local library. What followed became a case study in psychosocial gerontology. Within months, Robert's cortisol levels normalized without medical intervention. His muscle density improved despite making no changes to his diet or exercise routine. Most strikingly, cognitive tests showed significant improvements in processing speed and working memory, changes typically seen only with intensive pharmaceutical interventions. Psychologists now understand this transformation through the engagement cascade phenomenon. When seniors rediscover meaningful engagement, even in small daily rituals, it triggers a chain reaction of neurological and hormonal responses. For Robert, teaching basic engineering principles through model rocketry created a positive feedback loop. The social interaction stimulated dopamine production, which enhances motor function and mental clarity, making further engagement easier and more rewarding. The profound lesson from Robert's experience is that purpose needs no grand scale. For some seniors, caring for a single houseplant that depends on their attention provides sufficient why. Others find it in maintaining a daily journal for future generations, or simply being the neighbor who remembers everyone's birthdays. The common thread is having something beyond oneself that requires consistent showing up, whether a living thing, a routine, or a person who would notice your absence. As Robert tells his young rocket enthusiasts while helping them calculate thrust ratios, retirement was never meant to mean retiring from maturing. His journey proves that purpose isn't merely psychological comfort. It's a biological imperative that whispers to every cell, "You're still needed." In the calculus of longevity, the equations we solve for others may be the ones that best preserve ourselves. Conclusion: rewriting the story of aging. Your next chapter starts today. As we've journeyed through these 5 unexpected factors, a profound truth emerges. How we age has far less to do with luck than with the daily choices hiding in plain sight. From Margaret's emotional healing to Robert's rediscovered purpose, these stories reveal what cutting-edge science now confirms. Our later years aren't about passively enduring time's passage, but actively shaping it. The most hopeful insight lies in how these factors intertwine with our daily rhythms. Those fleeting conversations with your coffee shop barista do more than pass time. They nourish neural pathways. Choosing to occasionally rise from your chair without assistance, or adjusting the quality of light in your evenings, sends vital signals to your body's maintenance systems. Allowing grief the space it needs to breathe prevents it from settling in your joints and arteries. Most importantly, discovering even modest reasons to greet each morning, whether caring for a pet, mentoring a young neighbor, or maintaining family traditions, creates biological feedback loops that slow cellular aging. Consider how small shifts create cascading benefits. When Martin replaced his harsh night light with a red bulb, he not only improved his sleep, but gained energy for morning walks. Those walks led to more social interactions at the park, which in turn renewed his sense of belonging. Similarly, Margaret found that writing letters to departed loved ones not only eased her heart, but lowered her blood pressure enough to reduce medications. Your path forward needn't be overwhelming. Start where change feels most natural. Perhaps by spending 15 morning minutes near a sunny window with your tea, or leaving your phone in another room during dinner to savor the evening light transition. The key lies in consistency over intensity, in trusting that small daily investments compound into measurable biological returns. As Robert told his last rocket workshop group while helping them calculate trajectories, the laws of physics apply to aging too. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. His words capture this moment perfectly. You hold the power to influence your trajectory through ordinary choices that collectively become extraordinary medicine. The invitation isn't to chase immortality, but to claim the vibrant, connected longevity within your reach. To view each day not as another page turning, but as another opportunity to write deliberately, adjusting the light you take in, the connections you nurture, the purpose you cultivate. After all, the most fascinating stories often come in later chapters. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it, a friend, family member, or caregiver. And remember to hit subscribe for our next video on bathing after 70. How often is too often? 7 shocking truths you need to know. Your support helps us create more content that changes lives.